Play in the animal world. Do you ever look at your pet and wonder what is going on inside their head? For example, cats have an eagerness to play, but there's a story behind this, and that story is called evolution. In short terms, it's the gradual adaptation over many generations, with each generation changing a physical attribute. In this video, we're going to look at the pillars of comparative psychology, so that we can understand the following research from the most objective viewpoint possible. To start off, let's define what animal play actually is. According to comparative psychology, play is a form of animal behaviour that is often seen in mammals, birds and some species of fish. It's generally defined as using physical activity and/or exercise. Animals engage in play on a highly irregular basis. An apparent lack of any serious intent or goal, such as predation or food gathering, can characterise play. There are several types of play, including locomotor, object, social, such as wrestling, grappling, slapping, mouthing and biting, and other non-aggressive behaviour. Play promotes learning in a safe environment when animals practice basic instincts such as hunting, chasing, manipulating objects and fighting. It's been shown that animals that are able to play tend to live longer than those who do not. So, what about cats? Hunting is driven by evolutionary constraints and is linked to cats' physiological needs, so several of their predatory instincts have been maintained throughout evolution. Playful behaviours are often shown during hunting. These types of social play peak at around 3 to 4 months of age. During play, some cats express aggression that would lead them to be more territorial over their offspring. There's also a phenomenon of redirected aggression. To wrap up, cats' motivations for play are derived from predatory behaviour and is important for mental stimulation. Play behaviour typically elicits associations with mammals rather than with insects. Most research regarding animal play behaviour to date is focused upon conventional mammals such as dogs, cats or horses. Insects, however, receive far less speculation. Researchers at Queen Mary University of London discovered that bumblebees deliberately rolled wooden balls without being trained to do so, and without receiving an incentive for doing so. Thus, this behaviour can be assumed to be voluntary and spontaneous. Rolling balls did not contribute to survival strategies, such as obtaining food or mating. Reward appears to be the only justification. Previously stated, research on insects' play behaviour is sparse, and therefore it's difficult to understand the evolutionary explanations for why this behaviour occurs. There is great controversy on the evolutionary perspective of such behaviours in bees. Recent research has produced increasing indications that insect brains are far more advanced than previously thought. Arguably, bees might play in order to experience pleasure, which could be thought to protect them in the wild, or to teach them to be socially responsive. At present, this is currently inconclusive. However, we can be certain that play behaviour aids in brain development, which will always equip any species to survive life. Bees are truly magnificent and intelligent creatures. By observing them, we've grown to realise that play-like behaviour is modified according to one's environment, and this is the case especially when it comes to dolphins. These animals possess some striking and unusual play patterns. Dolphins have some unusual games they play, going beyond common mammalian play previously discussed. Most striking is the bubble rings seen in many captive colonies. It's achieved by a sudden tail flick near the surface of the water. They even manipulate the rings by joining many together or steering one through another. But what about animals other than warm-blooded vertebrates? It turns out they play too. Gordon Burkhardt is known for defining play in a way that allows us to identify it in species not previously thought capable of play, such as wasps, reptiles and invertebrates. He was one of the first to identify play in fish. He concluded that play occurred as mock fighting teaches them to inhibit their behaviour when things don't go right, so it has a great adaptive value. His research shows that play is part of an evolutionary history and not just random meaningless behaviour. and he also believed it was a great way to look inwards. A fascinating study has shown that chimpanzees trump humans at face-to-face game theory computer games, and the chimps were correct almost all of the time. Now why and how could this be? I thought humans were meant to be the smartest. As it turns out, success at this game isn't a measure of intelligence, but a reflection of our surrounding environment. Chimpanzees engage in competitive and strategic interactions, so because of this, the evolutionary approach suggests this caused cognitive adaptations strengthened over the course of evolution, making chimps much superior. In contrast, why were humans so bad at the game? Well, we developed language, so we don't need to hyper-focus on body cues. Bear in mind, it's not scientific to assign human-like features onto animals. This is where Morgan's canon comes in. The point you should take away from all this is that you should take a tentative, evidence-based approach. Thank you for watching.